Can we be honest with God? Absolutely. Tell him you're confused. Tell him you're tired. Tell him you're disappointed. Tell him you don't understand. That's not disrespect. That's relationship. Let's talk. Have you ever been in a situation where everything was going well, then suddenly life just pressed the scatter everything button? You prayed, you fasted, you even added God a beg with extra seriousness, but nothing changed. Then one day, you quietly asked, God, why? Immediately, one small voice inside your head said, don't question God, oh. But is that really true? Let's talk more about it. Are we really not allowed to ask God questions? Growing up, many of us heard things like, don't question God, just have faith. God knows best. And yes, God truly knows best. But does that mean you can't ask him questions? Let's think about it. If your child came to you and asked, Mummy, why are we moving? Would you say, how dare you question me? Probably not. You'll explain according to what they can understand. So why do we sometimes think God is offended by our honest questions? Even great people in the Bible ask questions. Let's be honest. The Bible is full of people asking God difficult questions. David asked, how long, Lord? Job asked, why is all this happening to me? Jeremiah asked, why do the wicked prosper? Habakkuk practically said, God, are you seeing what's happening? Even Jesus, while on the cross, cried, my God, why have you forsaken me? These weren't people with weak faith. These were people with real faith going through real pain. Faith doesn't mean pretending. Everything is fine. Sometimes we think being a good Christian means smiling through every problem. Someone asks, how are you? You reply, I'm blessed and highly favored. Meanwhile, Napa has taken light. Salary has not entered. Your landlord is reminding you every morning that rent is due. Your situationship has disappeared like data after watching one Netflix movie, yet you're trying to convince everybody that you're perfectly okay. God already knows how you feel. You don't have to impress him. God can handle your questions. Here's something beautiful. God is not insecure. He isn't threatened by your confusion. He already knows every thought before you speak. Imagine trying to hide your questions from someone who already knows the questions. That's like trying to surprise Google with a search. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But there's a difference. Here's where balance comes in. There's a difference between asking God a question and accusing him. One says, Lord, I don't understand. Please help me. The other says, you don't care about me. See the difference? One is seeking understanding. The other has already concluded the case. God welcomes sincere hearts. Sometimes the answer doesn't come immediately. This is the hard part. Sometimes you ask, and heaven seems quiet. No instant reply, no booming voice, no angel knocking on your door, just silence. And honestly, silence can be uncomfortable, but silence doesn't always mean absence. Parents sometimes stay quiet while watching their child learn to walk. They're still there. God's silence doesn't always mean he's gone. Sometimes he's working on things we can't yet see. Let's talk about waiting. Waiting is not easy, especially in this generation. Food, 10 minutes, delivery, same day. Reply to your text? Well, depending on who you texted, but God's timing rarely follows Amazon Prime. Sometimes we're praying, Lord, today please. God is saying, I'm preparing something that needs more time. It's frustrating, but many people later look back and say, if God had answered me immediately, I would have made a terrible mistake. Can we be honest with God? Absolutely. Tell him you're confused. Tell him you're tired. Tell him you're disappointed. Tell him you don't understand. That's not disrespect. That's relationship. The strongest relationships are built on honesty, not pretending. Now, here's something to think about. Maybe God isn't asking us to stop asking questions. Maybe he's asking us not to stop trusting him while we're asking. Because faith isn't having every answer. Faith is choosing to keep walking even when you don't have all the answers. If you have ever asked, God, why me? You're not alone. If you've ever wondered where God is in the middle of pain, you're not the first, and you won't be the last. The Bible doesn't hide people's questions. It shows us that honest conversations with God have always been part of faith. So maybe the real question isn't, is it wrong to question God? When I don't understand God, will I still trust him enough to keep talking to him? Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever asked God a difficult question? Did your faith grow stronger afterward, or did you struggle with the silent? Let's have a respectful conversation in the comments. And if this discussion encouraged you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need the reminder that God isn't afraid of honest questions.